So, microspore formation is of two types, successive. After the first meiotic subdivision, a callose wall is formed separating the two nuclei, leading to the formation of a dyad. The two cells of a dyad undergo second meiotic subdivision to form a tetrad of 4 cells. The callose wall is again formed after second meiotic division. The type of tetrad is called isobilateral and is of common occurrence in monocotyledons and polypetally of dicotyledons. Second one is simultaneous type. In simultaneous type, the first meiotic subdivision is not followed by wall formation, eliminating the formation of dyad. I am repeating. In this type, the first meiotic subdivision is not followed by wall formation, eliminating the formation of a dyad. After second meiotic subdivision, callose walls are led in such a manner to give rise to tetrahedral tetrad. Such tetrad are common in gamopetally of dicotyledons. Some other types of microspore tetrads are, many other types have also been reported, such as desiquate, linear and T-shaped. In Aristolochia elegans, all the 5 type of tetrads are found. That is tetrahedral, which is usual in dicot, isobilateral, usual in monocot, deciduate, T-shaped and linear. Deciduate, T-shaped and linear are unusual type. Now I am talking about dehiscence of anther. On the maturation of anther, the middle layer and tapetum disorganize, leaving behind epidermis and endothecium in wall layer. The most common mode of dehiscence is through longitudinal slits. The endothelial cell in the middle of anther lake thickenings, and such thin walled cells are called stomium. During dry weather, the endothelial cells shrink due to its hygroscopic nature, putting a pressure on stomial cells. It brings about a rupture of stomial cell forming lengthwise opening or slit. The liberation of pollen grain takes place through these slits. Dehiscence may also take place by means of a valve as in Berberis or through apical pores as in Solanum polygala, etc. In Cassia, the dehiscence takes place through basal pores. Now I am talking about size of pollen grain. The biggest pollen grain, that is 200 micron in diameter, are found in Mirabilis, while the smallest 2.5 to 3.5 micron in diameter in Myocystis. The longest needle-like pollen grain have been reported in Zostera marina, length 2500 micron, a submerged marine angiosperm. Zostera marina is a submerged marine angiosperm. Now I am talking about structure of pollen grain again. Pollen grain is generally spherical, consisting of two main layers. The outer layer is called exine and the inner one is intine. The exine is further differentiated into ectexine and endexine sublayers. The exposed surface of pollen walls show many types of sculpturing, making it rough. The roughness of exine is due to tectum and baculum, as these are discontinuous layers. The exine has a deposition of sporopollenin, which is one of the most resistant organic material known. It can withstand extreme environmental conditions such as high temperature and strong acid and alkali. No enzyme that degrades sporopollenin is so far known. Pollen grain exine is thin at certain points, forming germ pores through which pollen tube emerge out. Normally, there are 3 germ pores in dicot pollen grain, trichoplate, whereas in monocot pollen grain there is a single germ furrow, monocoplate. The intine is a thin layer of pactocellulose nature. Now I am talking about compound pollen grains. In plants like Typha, Acacia, Drosera, Hydrilla, etc., pollen grains adhere in tetrad to form compound pollen grain. In member of family Mimosaceae, these are formed in group of 8 to 64. Now I am talking about pollinium. In member of family Asclepiadaceae and Orchidaceae, pollen grains are formed into two balloon-like structure called pollinia. In orchid, each pollinium is divisible into many compartments called maculae having pollen grains. Now I am explaining pollen viability. Pollen viability refers to the period in which pollen grains retain their potential to germinate. It depends on prevailing temperature, humidity, and also genetic potential. Pollen grain can remain viable for a short time or for a few days to several months. In cereal like wheat and rice, the viability is only for 30 minutes, whereas in legume, it is for several months. Pollen grain can be cryopreserved at a temperature of minus 196 degrees Celsius in liquid nitrogen and can be used as pollen bank. So what is pollen bank? Pollen bank is a collection of different type of pollen containing the male genetic material of flowering plant. The pollen grains are preserved in liquid nitrogen at minus 196 degrees Celsius, which are used as a pollen bank in crop breeding. They are used to store pollen for a very long period of time in viable condition and a suitable approach for plant ex situ conservation. Those plants where pollen viability is of shorter duration pose a distinct disadvantage over those plants whose pollen possess longer viability. In case the pollen of shorter viability do not get chance to germinate within the viable period due to any constraint, they will not form pollen tube and consequently such plants are deprived of fertilization. On the other hand, the pollen of longer viability have more chance of pollen germination and chance of fertilization enhanced to great extent. Thus, pollen viability play an important role in the production of offspring in the next generation. So, what are the economic importance of pollen grain? Pollen grains are useful as well as harmful to human beings. Its useful and harmful activities are: number 1, pollen grains are rich in nutrients. Pollen tablets are used as a food supplement. In Western countries, a large number of pollen products in the form of tablets and syrup are available in the market. Number 2, bee pollen is the food of young bee and it is approximately 40% protein. It contains all nutrients required by humans. Half of its protein is in the form of free amino acids that are ready to be used by the body. Pollen grain consumption has been claimed to increase the performance of athletes and race horses. By culture of pollen grain, haploid cell line can be derived, that is known as androgenic haploids. An important potential application of haploid culture is the production of homozygous and virus-free seed-bearing plants of economic importance. Number 5. Pollen grains of many species causes severe allergies and bronchial affection in some people, often leading to chronic respiratory disorder like asthma, bronchitis. They also cause hay fever known as rhinitis and eczema. Parthenium hysterosporus means carrot grass, a member of Asteraceae, came to India as a contaminant with the important wheat and has become widespread in occurrence. It is also a source of pollen allergy. Sixth most important family in producing allergy pollen is Poaceae, that is Gramineae, and the plant causing pollen allergies are Cynodon, Digitaria, etc. Highly pollen allergens are found in Ambrosia, a member of family Asteraceae, that is Compositae.